do, do,
Oh,
do.
You don't have to wait for the button. Welcome back to Starting Now. I'm your host, Jeff Saris. This is the number 2 most successful podcast recorded in this house.
Damn right.
And I am here with...
Amara Andrew,
so this
the
is...
number 1 most successful female in this house.
Damn right. So yeah, this is our Side Hustle Saturday, or Starting Saturday, whatever you want to call it, where we dive into essentially using the weekends and using your free time to start a side hustle. And we talk about what you're up to.
Yeah.
And we dive into just the side hustle side of entrepreneurship. Side hustle side.
Side hustle side.
But yeah. So it's been a few weeks.
It has. It's been a very long time. I don't even remember what date we last recorded.
So yeah, we were going to do this every Saturday.
Yes.
And then we've run into just
life.
Yeah, a few things got in the way, and like I've still been recording the main show, which is the interview show with entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
But yeah, last week in particular was a little not awesome.
I thought about that when I woke up this morning. I was like, oh, I'm so glad to be done with it. I had a bout of, I guess, food poisoning, technically speaking. Yeah. I've never
Oh, if you say technically.
I still don't know what it was, but that's what we think it was.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we know what the food was, but we're not going to throw any food under the bus.
We're not going to. Yeah, we'll keep the food safe. The anonymity. But yeah, I've never been that sick before. Like, that was like hard and heavy. And if I've gotten food poisoning before, it was just like a little like, and then that was it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, that was like, I seriously thought I was going to be telling you like my last will and testament.
Well, yeah, it wasn't good.
No, but you took care of me, which is very sweet.
Yeah,
which
I do my best.
Yeah, I would kind of hope, but you did a great job. You nursed me back to health, and now I'm addicted to Pedialyte. I can't stop drinking it. I actually just had some right before this.
We had to replenish your fluids because you were so dehydrated.
Yeah, I was having chest pain, like my physical heart and chest hurt so bad, and then my kidneys hurt. That was absolutely terrifying. That was the moment where I was like, I really hope I make it. I've never had that thought before with sickness, and I was kind of just like, if I go, whatever, it'd be a sweet release.
No, but I know because I told you before, I had that once way back when I worked, and I was the only one home. I was the only one here, and I remember rolling out of bed just being like, I need help. Like, this isn't good. But
yeah, that's what it made me think of. I just had that flashback of like, oh, this might be kind of close to what he experienced. So anyway,
seemed like it.
Much better today, this past week. So just still a little tired and a little bit of brain fog, I guess, or trouble remembering things, but it's getting better and better.
Well, yeah, definitely. And we're able to record today, which is awesome.
Yeah, we are. Woohoo!
So it's been what are you saying? Sorry.
Because I was just shouting in their ear. Apologies.
But yeah, like it's been actually a good several weeks in terms of like the side hustle kind of stuff that we'll dive into in a few minutes. But we're not doing unfinished headlines today because I don't have any. It's actually a lot harder to find like really funny, worthwhile headlines for that. And like we're not like news junkies or anything, so it's not natural. But
and we want to keep it pretty light and fun versus anything like serious where it's like blah 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 the crisis in this place, and it's like, oh god, that's not fun.
But yeah, so I actually wanted to start with just something that I found really cool, because like in this episode I want to talk a little bit about money, because like obviously that's something I
love it. I'm a huge fan of money. No.
But like just finance and everything in general I've been really diving into, which we'll get to in a minute. But one of the parts of finance is like cryptocurrency and all these things that are blowing up right now, and NFTs and this and that. I just heard about an NFT project that I find really cool.
Okay.
That I can see for me the connection of being like, oh, I would like to own a piece of that.
I'm curious what this is.
Yeah, so there's Art Blocks. So Art Blocks is a it's funny. I didn't put up any of the sound stuff, and I can hear the echo
a little too.
So I'm just like, but it's fine. It is fine. It is fine. Art Blocks is a generative art platform. Okay. They're all NFTs. It's programmers and like artists/programmers who will submit their code in to create the art. So you go to Art Blocks, and then essentially you'd be like, I'm going to buy well, 720 minutes, which is what I want to show you in a moment. But I want to buy one of those. When you click to buy it is when it's created. So it's created algorithmically.
Oh, so it's going to be different.
It's going to be different, but you can tell it all comes from the same series. So they limit it to, say, I think 300 or 400 or whatever the number is that'll ever exist, but every single one is unique.
That's cool.
So that part is interesting. But specifically for 720 minutes, which is why I have the computer here, I want to show you what 720 minutes is, which takes things a little further for me.
Are we going to sit here for 720 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so just 12 hours. Don't worry about it.
Okay, cool.
So these are 720 minutes.
Hey, man.
And you see how they're all, like, if you're listening right now, if you go to Amara's YouTube channel, Amara and I'm/YouTube, you could watch this episode or just look up 720 minutes art blocks.
Yeah.
But what this is now, these are all the generated pieces, which it's like, okay, they're like fractals. It's cool. But there's something that I find...
Are you going to Billy Mays me? But wait, there's more.
Yeah, way more exciting to me. Let me click on this one. What is it? Number 162. Look how it moves. How it's like alive.
Weird. It looks like a heart. Oh, what the fuck?
So this is the thing. 720 minutes is 12 hours. It's a clock. You see the time right there?
No.
You have the hours and minutes.
Shut the fuck up.
So it's actually an art piece that is also a timepiece, which, I love clocks just in general. I love them. Too. So there's all sorts of different ones like this.
Whoa.
There's like 395, I think, that were created by this creator down here, Mac Tutui.
That's so cool.
But yeah, so going through, I'm like, I could see... so these are already sold. These are already all generated. There will never be a new one ever created. But on OpenSea here, you can choose whatever ones. You can make offers.
Yeah, I was going to say click the black and white one.
Yeah, so like you see, they all have the arms in there.
That's so interesting. I really like that.
Yeah, and then...
That's my kind of a clock. Because I don't like the traditional just...
But there's also a little Easter egg that goes with it. So let's click on that one. What'll happen is there's a specific time in that 12-hour span that every day something special will happen for your individual clock.
Really?
So it's the way they phrase it down here was each clock will activate on its given minute, giving you a special moment every 12 hours to consider what 1 minute means to you.
Huh.
And I was like, that just all of it really excited. Like, I really like that. It really makes me excited about the concept. And
that's interesting.
What makes it a little more special too, so it's generative, like I said, but it's 100% on chain. So what that means is normally an NFT is a contract. It is a contract always, but it's a contract to say you own this digital whatever, this video, this photo, this art. But what it actually is a link to wherever it is online, just to be like, oh, this is what it is.
Okay.
With 720 minutes, I think for art blocks, this is the first one, but this is a fully on-chain art piece. So this is JavaScript that's in the blockchain. So it's not a contract linking to something where it's like, oh, see, you can prove I own it by this. This is literally the art in the crypto space, which I think it's hard to like grasp because it's really hard to understand like what it is, but that makes it something that in theory 1,000 years from now, if the blockchain was reconstructed, like this is like obviously like really like far out thinking, but if it was reconstructed by some like archaeologist type people or whatever, they would know what this art was because the art is there. It's in the digital space. Where it's possible, like if it's just linking to something on like my website would be gone in 1,000 years. So like that link wouldn't work anymore. So you don't really know what the contract was for.
Right.
So there's a lot of aspects of this that I find really interesting. The only thing is there's not yet like a digital frame that exists to display your NFTs, but companies are working on it. But I could really see owning one of these and having that just be the clock in the house.
Yeah, that would be really cool. So how would we display it then?
So that's what people are working on, sort of like frames and things for this stuff. You could just grab the iPad, mount it on the wall, and keep it plugged in all the time.
Super glue it to the wall.
Yeah, like it could be whatever.
Casey style.
Uh-huh. Yeah, Casey Neistat. But yeah, I just find it really
Owned by
interesting.
Scruff McGruff. I like that name.
But yeah, so...
it is interesting that you can view it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's... I don't know.
Yeah, so on this platform, you get to see everything because this is where you could purchase from.
Yeah.
So, of course, I did a sort by price low to high, and I was like, let me see what's actually like attainable. Whoops, that is not... Well, I could go through it later. Here, Art Blotch curated. That's
not the Pablo Escobar collection.
So yeah, I mean, this is 0.375. So you could buy this one for with current prices. Oh, it doesn't say it on here now.
Oh, so only that much?
Oh, $800. Yeah.
Oh,
so this would be $900, and
that's not a ton.
Yeah, you would own this one forever, and then you can resell it later. The beauty of NFTs is that the artist gets, I think, 10% of that price.
That's
so
cool.
Every time it's bought and sold, they're getting more and more money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
which I really like that concept because otherwise as an artist, it's just like, well, okay, no more money. I don't get anything else from that.
Oh yeah.
So I do wonder how that's going to change the pricing of stuff then as well. Like if it'll be, because like in traditional art settings, like things can be really fucking expensive depending on the artist and everything. So now that you get residual sort of income, I also wonder how that's going to affect the future of like physical art and stuff like that. Like if there will be some new sort of contract, I have no idea how you would figure that out.
So it doesn't even have to be a different contract. It's the same one. So if it's like, okay, who owns the Mona Lisa?
Yeah.
The specific Mona Lisa that's at the
Louvre.
Who owns that? You can have it on the blockchain. So then it confirms that you own it because you're the one who in the history purchased it from the Louvre.
That's so interesting.
So there's
I
only
wonder
one
if this
way.
is going to be used then from now on.
I mean, so this is why NFTs are NFTs are sort of the first thing where like regular people are like, oh, I can buy something and own it. Like it sort of makes sense. I kind of get it. But
yeah, without having to have any sort of like knowledge or anything. It's just like, it is kind of like, well, no, I just like how it looks.
Exactly.
So
and
I
can just download this. I can just show it anywhere. But to be like, oh, we own this. This is a one of a kind. None of the rest look like this.
It's interesting because it does feel a little separate from the artist, just for me. Also, I haven't really looked into this, but like, it's not like sort of traditional art forms where it's like, oh, this is a fill in the blank. Like this is a Kirchner or Turner or whatever. It's like, oh no, this was created by Mac Tui Tui. And then it's like, oh, whatever. Like I just care about how it looks.
And so that's the thing. I care about how it looks, but then you have the concept of if he became the Da Vinci of our time or something, suddenly every single thing he made.
Yeah, this is the Mona Lisa.
Yeah, and it has the provenance to know this is the one he made. Then it was purchased by 50C946. Yeah. And then it was purchased by Amara and I'm. And
that's
like you can
really
see who owns it and you can confirm that you're the
because that is a huge
owner.
Problem in any sort of historical preservation capacity is the provenance issue where it's like, well, where'd it come from? Well, kind of disappeared for like 400 years. Now it's back. I really like that.
So it's really interesting. And you think art, this is the way to just sort of start. You can do it with sports cards, you can do it with art. But then you're like, oh, I want to buy a house. Well, eventually a smart contract can cover a house. So I could be like, I'm selling this house for 500 Ethereum, whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever it would be at the time. Well, that'd be amazing. But like whatever it would be at the time, and you make that contract. The contract is available. Like right here, you see the current price for this is 0.375. I can click buy it now and own it immediately.
Yeah, I really like that.
I don't have to go to a central person. We don't have to like both show up, both sign papers, have someone be like, yes, they both signed it. Let me cross it, like hand the keys across. This is all, the art piece is the contract. So I'm paying the contract, which pays the owner. And then the contract is then signed over to me all automatically.
So my only qualm then is the lack of excitement in the whole process. Because you could be excited and like not even like excited. You'd be like, oh, that'd be cool. Boop. And then you're done.
And I
have the full like, well, that's like the exciting part is like going to the place to sign the stuff, which it can also be nerve-wracking or anxiety ridden or whatever for like certain people. But I don't know, to me, that's like part of the excitement. But I do like how it's more inclusionary. Like it is still a hefty sum, but it's not like the traditional art world. Oh, I've seen these.
Yeah, the CryptoPunks.
Yeah.
So just to talk about the excitement, these are, let me just see.
And I just mean specifically just the click.
Oh, no, I know. But I just
You don't get anything in the mail? I love mail.
I wanted to talk about the excitement a little bit because CryptoPunks and we'll dive into the other topics today. I just real quick.
Yeah.
I think there is excitement built in, but it's just that it's hard to grasp because the system is different. So
it's a different type of excitement, which we need to reroute our thinking of it, possibly.
Well, like CryptoPunks, let me say zombie. They are sort of the first.
That's fun.
So
Roman punk.
So they're sort of the first one of these.
Cruella de Vil.
Yeah. So like sort of the first NFTs, not the very, very
fun.
first.
I really like that one.
Yeah. And these are like not original CryptoPunks, but
that's cool.
Essentially when they came out, what happens is people could go on and acquire one. But say you're like, oh, I really want a zombie. So you would go to buy the zombie, but so many people, like you do the launch. So Art Block, say, they would do a launch of CryptoPunks, the new version of that. And you would only have this window of time where they're putting this up for auction. So you still have the, I think, like excitement of, oh wait, I need to decide, like how much can I spend on this? I only have a window of an hour, or maybe there's the 400 of these. So I have until people buy all of them. And like, do I want to buy in? I need to do it now. I'm watching the art house, so Art Blocks, to see, oh, what's the project coming out tomorrow or next week? And like, I'm waiting for that. Like, so the anticipation and things, I think.
Yeah, that's still like virtual art auctions and stuff like that. But with that, I don't know. I guess for me, it's the anticipation of waiting to get something. Whereas with this, it's just instant. Like it's there, it's in your inbox or wherever, however it works. And then like you're set, you're done. That's kind of it. Whereas like, I don't know. I think I like getting still just because I'm old fashioned grandma over here. But I like getting that like physical something and also possibly having to visit the physical location. Because to me, that's like the whole adventure of it. And I guess for me, that's like embedded in the purchasing of something.
Oh, yeah.
Like this.
And I do think it changes with time. Because I think that's still what we feel at the moment. But I
but
think
then
it's going to
in
adapt.
10 years, possibly, I'll be like, fuck that. Why would I ever want to have to travel anywhere? Like, I'm just going to...
different.
Yeah. Which, I think it'll just take a little bit of hardwiring or like different wiring. Why can't I talk right now? It's all the sun, man. But yeah, I think that'll just take a little bit of like work to work through. Because like in human history, we've never had anything even remotely close to this. So... yeah, it's just different. I really like it, though. Which one are we going to buy?
I really want to consider it because right now also Ethereum is down.
Yeah.
Like it's more affordable. And we've been buying a little bit of Ethereum. This isn't financial advice, but I have like...
yeah, so whatever happens is up to you. It's on your whatever. I've just seen people say that when they talk about money and whatever.
It was a very concrete thing. But yeah, we're not saying anyone should buy crypto. But I do think Ethereum is at the very beginning, even though it's gone up a ton in price. In the last week, it crashed down. But
that's just like with anything, though, like with any investment, as I've learned from J.L. Collins.
Yeah, and what we're talking about here are smart contracts, and that is Ethereum. So when we talk about NFTs, we talk about anything that might use a smart contract. Ethereum is the platform they're using. So I really think that Ethereum is going to be the thing that dethrones Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is still, it's purely money. But anyway.
Now I'm like shopping. I'm like, which one do I want?
Last night I was going through and I was genuinely, because you can make a bid. You don't even have to just buy it now. You can if you're like, I want to make sure I have this. Ooh. Or you can say, I'll bid 0.4 Ethereum because...
that's kind of fun.
Yeah, because I love this one, but I don't want to spend 0.57 Ethereum, which is $1,400.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll definitely look at it. It's something we'll
look at this after we're done recording because I'm like,
I could see this being the first true NFT purchase.
Well, I like that it has sort of a utility.
That's the thing that gets me. Like without a utility, it's really hard for me. I liked this one a lot.
Yeah, like I can definitely buy something if I just like it, but I really prefer form and function.
Well, and I love the idea of every 12-hour period, like midnight to noon or noon to midnight.
How cool would that be?
And you can just be like, ooh, it's almost, and they tell you here what the time is, so you don't have to just wait and figure it out.
Oh, that's good.
This is at 1:12. So like when it's 1 o'clock, you're like, ooh, you're excited. Like, oh, at 1:12, the thing that only happens twice a day ever.
Yeah.
Like for the rest of my life.
Maybe that's the shift with the excitement, is it's not the actual acquisition of the object, but the ownership and the long-term kind of whatever.
Yeah, maybe
for
the
this
passion
specifically.
for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm going to be in so much trouble because now I'm going to be like, NFT art market.
Well, yeah,
but like,
so
I've definitely wanted to buy a bunch of different artworks from like various houses and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Not homes, but like auction houses.
Yeah.
Art house. Woo. Wasn't that Lady Gaga's album?
Art pop.
Ah, damn. Sorry, Gaga.
But yeah, we should move on.
Yeah, anyway.
I did not mean to get so far down the rabbit hole, but I
really
just find it really interesting.
Yeah.
And I don't see this. So, like, say we were right
and it
now.
has like personalities listed.
Oh, yeah, because that's the beauty of it. All of this, just like CryptoPunks, all of this stuff it's software, it's generated. So it's like, okay, the wholeness is 100%, whatever that means. Energy is lazy. Colors concentric, palette sunset. So like you can look for particular attributes.
That's cool.
Or attributes.
Attributes. Oh, you British.
But like with the CryptoPunks, what would happen is like people wanted a zombie. So people are doing everything they can to acquire a zombie. There was one guy who had 34. I just listened to a podcast with him. He got 34 zombies. He just found that they were cool.
Was it Rob Zombie?
No.
Damn.
But over time, they were climbing in price because they were nothing. I think they might have actually literally been free, like when you would acquire them. So it was all timing and you were like racing to try to get it. If they weren't, they were really cheap. Well, this is the thing. Last year, zombies went up to $5,000 each.
Ooh.
And this guy was talking to his friends forever. He's like, I really think this stuff's underpriced. Then his friends are like, wow, they're worth $5,000 now. Should we buy one? He's like, absolutely not. He's like, this is way overpriced now. It's crazy. They go for millions of dollars today. 12 months later.
I would fucking beat the shit out of him. Be like, yeah,
well, this was the thing. He started selling them off because he's like,
man,
it's worth $5,000. He sold 5 of them right away.
Just trying to get him out.
Just because he's like, this is a peak. They're not going to be worth more. But what happened is now CryptoPunks is seen as the original art. So like there's other art projects, but CryptoPunks is the original NFT that sort of created the space.
So that's going to be like the classic quintessential, like Rembrandt, Titian, Vermeer, whatever. It's going to be that quintessential artwork.
Yeah, so people realize that. Now they invested tons of money in
How weird would that be, too, to be that person where it's like, holy fuck, I might be on the same level or something.
Well, that's the thing is I don't believe... I'm speaking out of my depth here, but I don't believe the people who made it actually have any money from it because I don't think they made a contract where they get a residual. I think they just made it because it was a fun project. But at the same time, that is their legacy.
Yeah. Well, then hopefully that would help them sell things in the future and...
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're icons now. Like, I don't even know exactly who they are, but the person who started Art Blocks, he's the one who bought the 34 zombies.
Oh, okay.
And like... He loved generative art. He was doing this. He went to like a Coachella type thing where there's a DJ up there, but what he's doing is using knobs to control the lights and do these things that are generative. Like this is years ago. So he started diving into what generative art would be and how he could do like light shows on his own and have friends over and be like, he turns these knobs. You don't know what's going to happen.
That's fun. It's like Excision.
Yeah. And it's like, let me turn up the energy. Let me change the palette. Let me do this. But you don't know exactly how it's going to turn out because it's software.
That's fun.
Well, that's how he ended up getting the Art Blocks. And now they curate all these different projects. Okay. I haven't dove into any of the other ones. This was the one though, because being a clock and time, I was just like, I love it.
That's cool.
You see how the time's changed, how much time we've spent so far.
Why'd you show me this?
Well, yeah, I could see us doing something with this. But anyway.
I like it.
We should move on to more of what's going on.
We'll shop later.
Yeah, so you are a literal influencer now. I wanted to talk about that for a minute because
what do you mean?
You have influenced someone to purchase something through your affiliate links on Amazon.
Oh, yeah. And my plant review, too.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, the end.
No, but I just thought it was really exciting because you think influencer, and it's like, oh, this person who has this huge following, blah, blah, blah. But your recommendation, like what you've done has actually influenced people to make decisions, not in a bad way, because you're sharing something you think is actually great.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I don't share things that I don't like. Like, that's the whole thing about my review portion of my channel on YouTube.
Actually, we should tell people about that, because I don't think we've had a podcast episode since you've been doing reviews.
So, yeah, I have this new series, I guess, called Should I Buy This? Where I look through... I have 3 key things that I try to hit when I'm looking at this specific thing. So far I've reviewed a fake plant, and then I also reviewed... these banana tortilla chips that are like new-ish.
And stuff that we already own that we love, that you've put the research in to know this is the one I want.
Yeah.
This turned out to be what I thought it would be. Now let me help other people make decisions. Like how do I get a 6-foot-tall artificial plant? Like, where do I find one that's worth spending hundreds of dollars on?
Right. Yeah, because that is a big investment to like invest in something artificial and something that you don't really necessarily need. Like, it's a very ephemeral object. Like, we don't need it. So yeah, that's kind of been my process. So like, I do tickling my senses first, or I do the whole visual survey, or not just visual, but the sensory experience is how I term it. I don't know. It just flowed out of me one day and I was like, that sounds good. But yeah, like the whole, like, what does it look like? What does it smell like? What does it taste like? What does it sound like? And what does it feel like, of whatever it is? So yes, I licked a plant in my video if you want to check it out. It did not have a flavor.
The outside of the banana bag, which I thought was funny because you're about to eat the chips anyway.
Hey, I go full everything. I want people to know that this is a good product.
Uh-huh.
So there's that. And then there's pricing. Obviously, that's like the main reason for it, essentially. So how does this compare to comparable of the same exact thing? So like other grain-free tortilla chips or other fake plants versus real plants, or traditional corn or flour tortilla chips and stuff like that.
And reviews are very popular on YouTube.
Yeah, but like only tech. Really.
I think it is a huge gap in the market, because like we're always trying to find the best of whatever. Aziz had a joke. I think it was Aziz. He's like, why do I go online? I need a toothbrush. And I'm like, best toothbrush. He's like,
but
it's
that's
a toothbrush.
like what we do.
Yeah,
because
and we all do it.
We're trying to sift through the noise, because there's such a wide array of stuff now, and like endless. You could just scroll forever trying to find a fucking toothbrush. But if you have that person that you trust, or who seems to have pretty good judgment, hopefully that can alleviate some stress or whatever, which that's kind of my thing. I want to just help make things easier for people all the time.
Well, so you're an archivist by trade.
Yes.
And this is you being a curator.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I technically went to school to be a curator.
But like, I didn't think about it till right this second. Like, you're a curator of goods at the moment. Like, because we do that. Like, you curate for stuff that we're going to acquire and purchase, but then now you're helping other people do the same without having to do all the as much research as you might do.
Right. And yeah, like hopefully they can even just use the same stupid thing. You don't have to lick everything, but
no,
like
you
the
do.
same.
You have to lick everything.
I don't know. It helps. Just don't do it in the store if you don't think you're going to purchase it. But yeah, just to help give people the tools to kind of like, what should I consider when I'm going to buy something? Unless it's an impulse buy, then have fun. But yeah.
Yeah. So I know we're keeping it a little short today because we have some things to do. We're going to be running out.
And we have tacos.
We do. Marinating. The steak is marinating right now. That's going to be so good. But I wanted to jump right into the topic, and I'm going to save the thing that I told you had to wait for until next week.
I'm going to hold me back.
But the topic I wanted to talk about this week. The power of Christ. You're shooting water at me.
I was thinking Molotov cocktail, but that works too. You can tell where your mind is.
Okay, so we were talking about something earlier in the week because, and this will we're going to dive into.
We talk about many things.
Oh yeah, but why we brought it up. But you started doing some outreach.
Yeah.
For a new thing that you want to try, and you want to get your feet wet, build your community around. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit.
Okay.
And then talk about essentially how to quantify something or qualify something as feeling like you accomplished something, because that was something we talked about earlier in the week, where if you're reaching out to people, it doesn't feel like you did something.
No.
But we need to reframe it. But first, who were you reaching out to, or what was the plan with your outreach? Because
of your episode with Jared Spink, just real estate photography is kind of what I was thinking. So I don't know. I love real estate and I find it interesting. And my dad's been a realtor for a long time. And yeah, I don't know. I love getting that inside look at houses and stuff like that. And I love photography, went to art school. So it was like, this is cool.
And you just spend your free time looking at real estate, like online and looking up houses and beach houses and like all these different things.
All the time.
No, but
a decent amount.
Well, yeah, just because you enjoy it.
Well, yeah, it's just interesting to me. And I like to just see how other people live and all that kind of stuff. So I figured, like, after hearing, real estate photography, I never once thought about that actually being like a viable pursuit. I just thought that I'm stupid, but I thought it was the realtor that took the photos. I've never even thought about this. And I never even asked my dad, like, where'd those photos come from?
This is why I think the podcast is helpful. Like, I'm hoping the podcast is helping people. And if you didn't listen to that episode, that was this past Thursday. So the episode right before this one, it's with Jared Spink. And he went from essentially taking his real estate photography from a side hustle into his full-time career during the pandemic. Yeah. So it's definitely doable to do something even when there's an economic downturn and challenges. Yeah. But
the thought of trying to capture the space in the best way. And so I just ended up looking through listings with a more critical eye this time. And I was like, they didn't really frame this properly, or they had too much ceiling or too much floor.
Or the context. You don't have context for how the space is laid out. How the fuck
is this house set up? It looks like just a weird hodgepodge, which that's also how you choose to upload the photos and everything. But yeah, sometimes you don't have enough context, and it's like, I mean, that's a huge $4 million house. Like, I want to know a little bit more.
Yeah, or the little ones. Like, we look at condos in Miami a lot just because we love Miami Beach.
Yeah, and sometimes it's like, here's the toilet and here's the fridge, and it's like, where's the rest of it?
And how does that even lay out? Is it like down the hall in a different apartment? Like, what are we looking at?
Do you sit on the toilet and the fridge is right there? Like, how does this work exactly?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's something that drives me absolutely nuts, but I know I could do a much better job at it.
And you've shot photography. This isn't like, okay, I'm going to start from day one, not doing anything. No,
it's not like, camera, is it?
Yeah.
Is that what that thing is?
So and some outreach then.
Yeah, and like my friends and I would have fun with photography in high school. It was just being stupid. But yeah, so I reached out to 2 people just to kind of see, like, I'm terrified of reaching out to people. I don't want it to be weird, and I don't want to make other people feel uncomfortable, like they have to respond to me or be nice or whatever. Like, I don't want to impose on people ever. So I don't want it to be a weird sort of thing where it's like, I'm expecting an answer from you. It's like, if you respond, that'd be cool.
Well, and how'd you choose who to reach out to?
I just looked through the hashtag. So I looked at Elmhurst real estate hashtag, that specific hashtag. Oops, probably shouldn't have said that. I will bleep that out.
No, it doesn't matter.
I looked through the real estate hashtag, and in my local region.
But yeah,
I will edit that part. No, just teasing. But yeah, so I just looked at like who.
Make sure you're facing the mic.
Sorry.
There you go.
I want to shout at you. But yeah, so I just looked at who is posting with that hashtag because I figured it would be people in the area. Mm-hmm. And I found a couple people. I found 2, and they both looked very fun. So I reached out to one person first, and I haven't heard back, which is fine.
Like, but that's I didn't expect to. Because I
expected to hear back from absolutely nobody.
Well, yeah, and you're essentially cold calling. You're not
exactly.
Just before we go too much further, you didn't pitch them as, "Would you hire me to do this?" But you said, "I'm brand new. I don't know anything about this space. I want to build up my community and network, and I want to understand more."
Right.
But like, I would love this space, and I would love to be a part of it and shoot. Like, I would if you have the availability, I would love to shoot your next listing just free of charge, just to get my feet wet, get to know you, this and that.
Yeah, just to, and like build my portfolio and like you said, build connections and everything. And yeah, just not to impose on that person. Like, take me. Excuse me. So then, the second person I reached out to, I was just like, you're the second person I'm reaching out to.
Well, yeah, being very open and honest. And like that was something that to me is extremely important. Just to be like we're not playing games. Like this is literally, you're just starting.
Literally the second person.
Yeah.
And I found her because she had fun Instagram reels and they were just so fun. And like, since I've been posting on TikTok and everything, I don't know. I really like the snappy video format, even though I've kind of cut back on my TikTok, unfortunately. But I just liked her energy and just the fun, fun kind of vibe to her videos. And they were just fun. So I was like, she would be awesome to work with. So I was like, let's just try it and see what happens. And then I heard back from her. And so we set up a little meeting. And she just basically said like, I don't really need a real estate photographer. I already have one. However, I'm thinking of all these other ideas, which I don't want to...
We won't dive into it right now.
We're going to keep those
things
under
that... because we'll see what happens, but things that essentially, because you're taking action, because you have your YouTube channel, because you're creating and getting out there, that you're uniquely suited to do some of the things that she's interested in.
Yeah, hopefully.
And you just so happen to reach out at a time when she's considering doing these things.
Exactly. So, she said you literally reached out at the perfect time. And I was like, serendipity. And we had like a whole name thing that was really similar. Yeah. It was like so strange. I had no idea.
But isn't this crazy though? Because it is scary to reach out to people.
Oh, it's absolutely terrifying.
But if you're not reaching out and connecting with anyone, you're not getting anywhere in terms of, especially if you were to start a service-based side hustle. No one knows who you are. Like people know who you are online. I know who you are. Anyone listening or watching right now knows who you are.
Hello out there in PD land.
But people who might hire you. Yeah, especially when it's a hyper-local
Why should
idea.
They? Like, why should anybody care?
Mm-hmm. But so you're just building a connection. Like, who knows if it'll pan out, but I think it's really exciting.
Well, and at least, I'm just trying stuff out and seeing kind of what sticks, essentially.
You're building your resilience. I mean, that's what the entire premise of doing this. Like, you have your Etsy shop, you have your YouTube channel, you have TikTok, you have, just all the things that you're doing that are just diversifying a little bit so you don't have all your eggs in one basket.
Oh, yeah.
Because, with a job, it's great. It seems secure and everything, but it's it seems secure until it's not, because you never know if one year it's like, oh, we need to have massive cutbacks. So these positions are gone, and it's nothing against the person.
Yeah, it's just purely we don't have the funding for it or whatever.
So just hedging your bets. So in the long term, you never are in a poor position. Oh yeah, you're in control.
In a year-to-year contract basis, that is a little nerve-wracking each year when it gets to that time. It's like, oh, I'm an angel.
So I think this is really exciting. I'm really proud of you for doing it, and it's you'll do more.
Busy next semester.
Oh yeah, well, and you reached out right before you got sick too, so it sort of turned off that the outreach mode for a little bit.
Yeah.
But then, and once you talked to her and everything, and I could see you reaching out to more people just to see, sort of make more connections and see what other opportunity might be out there. But you're still talking to the same person.
I conquered my biggest fear of just cold calling. So that was, if anything, I conquered a fear of mine, and it doesn't feel as daunting anymore, because the worst thing that's going to happen is somebody's just not going to respond. It's like,
well, and as long as you're respectful and everything, it's not going to shine poorly on you. They just didn't respond.
Exactly. As long as you're not a piece of shit.
You can definitely approach it in a very poor way that would have downsides. But
any self-respecting person that would be like, I don't really want to deal with you. So
I just wanted to talk specifically then about feeling accomplished.
Yeah, that was a very weird thing, because we spent a few hours, I was writing a couple drafts, and then I'd have you look over them and edit them, just because you do a lot of
we have people
talk and
reach
stuff.
out to us and things, so I know what it feels like to be on that side.
Yeah, and you know kind of what works and what doesn't. We spent a couple hours on that, which it felt like a huge waste of time for 2 Instagram messages, but it worked. You do have to kind of reframe it. That is work. That is Like writing is work. And like same thing with when I write emails at work or something, I'm like, I'm just wasting fucking time right now. But like you need to switch the thinking a little bit.
Yeah, I run into that all the time because I
can imagine.
If I didn't have a very concrete thing that I accomplished, everything else feels like fluff. So it's like, it's so important to take a step back and just take a breath and be like, oh no, even though I don't consider maybe spending an hour researching one person on Instagram and then 2 hours getting the email or whatever it was, like getting the message just right. It doesn't feel like work, but that's important. You're not just blindly messaging every single person you can on Instagram to see if anything sticks. You're reaching out to people who you think you could help.
Well, and each message was tailored to the person. Oh, yeah. So that's where the extra timing came in. It wasn't just, hi, blah, 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 blah. Like,
I want this. Yeah, what do you say?
I don't like that. Like, I get so many of those messages on Instagram, and it's just, I'm never going to ever respond to you or even look at it if that's what it is.
Well, and it's not going to get the type of person that you want to work with.
Not
because
at all.
Also, like,
because it's not like a person. It's just like spray and pray kind of thing, like you say. I know.
Well, yeah, but taking a breath is just really important, and I think that's something we can all benefit from, no matter where you are in your journey. Is realizing that, like, research. I
love researching,
but at the same time, I don't think you consider research accomplishing something when it comes to, say, a YouTube video that you're making.
Not at all. Like, I feel like, honestly, like writing some scripts and stuff like that, it feels like a huge waste of time, which it's like, I should just be recording this. But it does help you get your thoughts together and be more prepared for recording. Because I've definitely just been like, oh, let's just see what happens. But like, yeah, you do need to spend that time and like do it, even if it does feel like it's a huge waste of time. It's not. Like, honestly, nothing is really. Like, you just have to reframe your thinking.
So how do you, I feel like it's something new we're just talking about, but how do you then combat that?
You just kind of have to tell yourself, like, this is for your own good. It's like eating vegetables.
But yeah, even if it's not going to bring direct money, or it's not going to be a direct growth of your YouTube channel or growth of
but you're laying the foundation for more success in the future. So like establishing some sort of a workflow or something, or even like setting up this setup for the first time, it took a little bit of time, but then now we're just getting quicker and everything, and we have a little bit more of a like established workflow and like setup and everything. But yeah, you have to lay that foundation out first, and then the rest of everything is just fine. Like same with you with setting up your studio. Like you've figured out a couple different setups that you wanted to try or whatever, and like that took a little bit of work, and it was probably, I know it was kind of frustrating.
Well, yeah, and I'm still figuring it out, trying to, because I want to start doing some YouTube videos like you've been doing. You're inspiring me to do more on YouTube. I
influenced you.
But yeah, I want to start doing more beyond just the podcast.
Yeah. So yeah, like stuff. Just setting the groundwork and everything for it helps.
Well, yeah, like you do need to start, because you can spend all your time preparing and researching and planning and never pull the trigger. So I don't want to sort of give the green light to never take action. But at the same time, don't beat yourself up if you didn't take action today, but you might be one step closer to realizing that action.
Exactly. Like, yeah, it's kind of, I know Gary Vee has said this, but it's a, whatever the fuck. Like, it's a race, not a marathon, or it's a marathon, not a sprint, or something like that, where it's better to take a little bit more time to invest in that, and it'll be a little bit slower, but it'll be a longer lasting kind of thing versus just boom, 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 boom.
Well, and patience is everything. Like if no matter what you want to do, whatever you want to achieve, you need to have some sort of competence in that space if you want someone to pay you money to do it.
Oh yeah.
So if you're not investing in that, and it's just that spray and pray approach, let's see, I'll try to do everything for everybody, and hopefully someone will be gullible, and that's not building anything sustaining. So the patience to be there and like, okay, I'm going to get better at this, I'm going to improve my photography, I'm going to figure out more about the industry of real estate photography, or for my YouTube videos, I'm going to do this. For teaching, I mean, you're a teacher now. I didn't even list that in the different things I was listing, but I mean, you're a teacher, a college, you said not professor, but college teacher, because you're adjunct faculty. But like, these are all things that you get better with time, because you invest the you invest your time into it.
Oh, yeah. Like for my teaching videos, I go through the scripts, or like I write scripts for it so then I can hit these points. And yeah, that takes me a couple hours a week just to like go through, more than a couple hours, but you know what I mean? Just to make sure like, no, I'm hitting all these things that the student should know when they're watching this video.
Well, yeah. Yeah. And you're always growing in your skills and also your knowledge, because you know the stuff, but then it's like, oh, I need to refine this. I don't have this concept presented the way that should be. Let me make that better.
Right.
Yeah. So just essentially the whole point of this is just don't beat yourself. And yeah, like get started, but don't set some imaginary bar of this is the only thing that is accomplishing something.
Yeah. And don't wait until it's perfect, because it will never be perfect. Oh, yeah. Like you just record and be like, well, I fucked that part up, but you can edit it out or leave it in because it's kind of charming. Like just do it.
Well, yeah, like our setup in here, we're in the office right now, in my office, and like I liked shooting these in the other room, but we wanted to be a little quicker. So I was like, let's just do this. This works. We have the computer because I wanted to show you the art blocks. And
and we were just like, okay, I'm going to shower and then
I want to get back to doing this ideally every week, but at least a couple times a month at the least. Just especially because now I have one more thing to tease out that'll be next week now.
Be chomping at the bit.
Oh yeah.
I'll be bribing you. You want to tell me, kid?
But yeah, just a thought. But yeah, we're at 45 minutes already, so we should probably wrap about here because we need to
eat some tacos.
Yeah, eat dinner soon and head out for a few minutes. But yeah, I think this was a great. This was a great. But yeah, so
you making fun of me?
If you're enjoying the show, be sure to subscribe wherever you're listening right now. Check out the YouTube version on Amara's channel, amara.me/YouTube, and this is Side Hustle Saturday, Starting Saturday, whatever we want to call it. But
yeah, something.
Yeah, thanks for listening, and
thanks for hanging out. And just get started. It's not going to be perfect, but that's how you learn.
Absolutely, and
just like when you're a baby. You learn walking by falling. Boom. Quote me.
You learn walking by falling. Boom. Quote me.
Shut up.
But yeah, and if you want to contact us, like we're both on Twitter. I'm at Jeff Saris. She's at Amara Andrew. She's playing footsie with me right now. So I think it's probably time to wrap. So thanks again for listening. Dennis is starting now, and we will see you next time.
Okay, bye. I love you.